Bakker the naturopath from New Zealand. Thanks for coming back. Question I get asked from time to time is, why don't you lower the cost of CanXida? Why are we paying this kind of money for these tablets and capsules? Why can't it be cheap like every other dietary supplement is? That's a fair comment. But there are several reasons why CanXida is not a cheap product, okay? I learned a long time ago about the value of quality, about the value of something that was well made, okay? I learned this with many different avenues, eating and the tools that I buy, the clothes that I wear, all sorts of things. Quality always rules, okay? Price is a very important consideration, but quality, in my mind, is more important than price. So the reason why CanXida costs the way it does is our production costs, our raw material supplies, okay? Our rigorous testing. The amount of work that we put into testing has been phenomenal. The clinical trials I conducted cost me an incredible amount of money to use the product in the clinic at the rate I did. And in many cases, I was treating patients for virtually no cost with the products, really to trial them out. And this was fully explained to the patient. It was not a problem in the early days. These things really contribute to the cost, okay? Companies don't tend to do these kinds of things. The many batches that we made of the CanXida products in small runs cost us a tremendous amount of money to fine-tune the product, to get the tablets exactly how we wanted them. You've got no idea on the costs. They're crippling, these costs. But these costs have to be passed through to the consumer if we want to make a high-quality product, okay? I could tomorrow make a batch of CanXida and market it probably for $10. But you know what? We'll probably get 80-90% sent back to us saying they're ineffective, they're not working, and it was a waste of money, even at $10 or $12. Right? I've worked with supplements now for probably close to 40 years. I've taken supplements myself for a long time. I know the supplement industry. I know the players. I know a lot of the raw material suppliers, the manufacturers, the contract manufacturers, and the brokers involved in this business. And I can tell you how many shady people there are out there, how many shady companies that come across as very good, but all of their raw materials are sourced from the cheapest possible supplies, and all of the money is put into marketing. It costs literally 50 cents to make a bottle of, vitamin pills in a cheap factory. It literally costs less than 50 cents. But these can be marketed for $6.99 or $8.99 at Walgreens. That's not my kind of production I'm interested in. To me, it's like making a can of soda drink, mass producing it and pumping it out there and getting a 20%, a 10 cent margin on a can of something of just junk that you're selling to people. It's all about profit. I never ever wanted to go down that route, okay? The reason I created the channel was to add a lot of value to the products that I do manufacture. And that comes at a cost too, because I spent many hours making a lot of videos for people. I've made thousands and thousands of videos, all free of charge. I don't charge anything for this information. So again, these things add to the cost of CanXida. I could close up my channel tomorrow, take all the videos down, and maybe sell my supplements for a few dollars a bottle cheaper, but you're not getting any of the value of my 33, 34 years of experience. That's all gone. And how many supplement manufacturers will do that for you? Put a guy there in a chair in front of a screen and talk about his experiences with patients and hints and tips and those sorts of things. That's the kind of stuff that I like to do. But does that reflect in a higher cost of CanXida? Not really. The biggest cost we have is our raw materials. So I'm the one who chooses where the materials come from and what type of materials I use, not my other people who deal in all the logistics. And I always choose the best. Sometimes we have arguments that we should choose a lot cheaper or lower priced raw material, but that would reflect in you guys out there coming back to me saying, Eric, your products are crap, they don't work. We're not getting the kind of outcome that you keep telling us we should be expecting. But I can sit on this chair and tell you with hand on heart that you will get those outcomes, because I put my heart and soul into this CanXida product line based on a lot of experience, so you would get the outcome. And the outcome only comes from high quality. It doesn't come from low quality. The amount of patients we saw over the years taking up to 30, 40 supplements I gave up counting. There were thousands of them. And these were all bottom end, cheap, over-the-counter products, bought through iHerb or, through some chemist. And they were just junk, absolute junk. I learned particularly about omega-3 quality. And I would easily say that well over half of omega-3 products I've tried are crap. There are rancid fats in them, they're not made properly, and people have got no idea. And they're still paying $8, $10 or $12 for a bottle of that junk. So remember, quality always comes at a cost. Now, many people say to me, I can't afford your products. I'll totally understand that, okay? Many people can't even afford a $6 product. Many people can. So it's up to you to decide what's important for you and what you're spending your money on. And if you can't afford the CanXida products, you can still get all my information for free. And there are many videos I've made for you guys out there that involve this, what I call the slow boat to China. You can still get an outcome, but it may take a lot longer to get the outcome without any supplements at all. Supplements will speed up the process and make it far more efficient for you to heal a lot faster and a lot sooner. So quality comes at a cost, and that's how it is. If you guys want me to make really cheap bottom end products that are very cheap that everybody can afford, it's not what I really want to do. I really can't do that. It's just not in me to do that. So that's just how it is. It's about quality, and that's how I've always wanted to work. So I hope you understand. Thanks for tuning in.